Hey there, Virgo fam. Welcome to MZ Intuitive Tarot, and this is your tarot snack. Um, so I had a little bit of sabbatical of sorts. I just couldn't seem to get out of my head. I wasn't seeing clearly. I was only seeing with worry and doubt. And I needed clarity. So I needed to cut away all the energetic connections that no longer served me. And on New Year's Day, I did it's not really a meditation. It's a guided intention. It didn't take very long. It was super easy. I was only half paying attention because I have a very busy brain. So most of the things only get half my attention. And it still worked, right? I did a meditation to cut energetic cords that no longer serve me. These are people that have been in your energy that don't necessarily need to be there anymore. Your first grade teacher, your college roommate, somebody you used to babysit for, an ex, and you can cut these cords because these cords, they go both ways. So you can feed off their energy and drain them years down the road. They can drain you years down the road and you don't even know it's happening. Soulmates with whom you had a soul contract that has been fulfilled, right? If you have a soul contract that hasn't been fulfilled, it ain't going nowhere. So don't worry about that getting cut away. You can't cut away, soulmates or twin flames or anything like that. But when you cut away all of the static and the chaos, you get a new clarity on which things really matter to you. And then you can move forward and manifest those things, the important things. And sometimes if you're in confusion and having trouble making a decision, do this. Because, do this intention to cut these energetic cords. Because you'll clear away all the cords you don't need, all the choices that, really aren't a choice, that aren't meant for you at this time. And all that's left is things that are still on your path, things that still serve you. It's amazing. I immediately felt better, right? I even I did this on New Year's Day. I did this around about January 14th. And I actually had messages and people show up out of the blue. My womb gremlin, tech support, as we call him, one of his oldest and best friends showed up at the door. She slid off in the ditch. She couldn't get a hold of her grandfather to come pull her out, and wanted to know if I would. And so, but eventually we got her and her boyfriend, I guess, out of the ditch, and we got to see her again, and it was so great because I've known this girl since she was like 5 or 6, and she's soul fam, and it was so good to see her. Yeah. So, I cut that cord, and energetically, she came back and showed me that she was still the connection, for example. So we still have a connection with her, and we hadn't seen her in a couple years, right? And we missed her, I think. Anyway, but I have no doubt that that was clarity on another connection. a connection that was supposed to stay. So this exercise does bring clarity. Sorry, I've been over talking, but it's been 2 months. So so I have lots to say. Anyway, so we're going to find out what Spirit has to say about why you need to cut these connections away, these old connections that do not serve you, or perhaps who's waiting, for you to gain clarity. What's waiting behind this after you gain clarity? What will present itself? So I'm going to use the wizards today, clarify with the Golden Art Nouveau, and get you some advice from the Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle. Let's see. Moving. Okay. Put this aside, and we'll shuffle a little bit. And I keep putting the book on top of All right. So, I cannot predict free will. People may choose to do things that will affect stuff. Like the person who busted a beer bottle at the end of my driveway the other night. I didn't want to go out and clean glass out of the gravel, but I'm going to be doing it here today or tomorrow, So it doesn't even have to be a connection, but people's free will, it affects you. I can't predict that. Take what speaks to you, leave the rest behind. I guess that's your card. If you're here for a reason. There's no wrong time to be here. One little thing I say might be your message. So, let's get into it, I guess, because I've talked long enough. Let me check the timer. How long have I been talking? Oh, Lord, 7 minutes. Sorry, fam. Sorry. I'll try to do better. Okay, so let's see what the universe wants you to know about this. King of Swords. Page of Swords on the bottom. 10 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. 7 of Cups. Yeah. Everybody getting somewhat of a similar message. Okay? Swords is clarity, right? You need to gain some clarity. Spirit's trying to give you some clarity, but you got some interference, right? This crown of really cool crystals that are leading into his head, it's all sorts of messages, right? And it's making everything fuzzy and heavy and confusing. Your reception is overwhelmed reception, like your phone reception. These are like old TVs that used to have rabbit ears, okay? And Spirit's trying to tell you about this mini Empress, right? Minor Arcana Empress. This doesn't have to be a person. Beautiful thing that's standing out there just waiting for you to get a clue, yeah? And, you've got all sorts of things you could choose from, and maybe the choice isn't very clear. This came out for Cancer. These are all connections, energetic connections that you have. These are emotional connections. Some of them no longer serve you. Some of them you just need to cut away. And then by process of elimination, you find the connection or connections that are meant to, be obvious, to gain clarity, right? So you can move on for the Ten of Swords. Yeah. All these connections, they don't serve you. They're just stabbing you in the back. Pull them out. Pull them out. Move on. Pull those connections away. Cut them. Cut the cords. King of Swords. You got to share some of this clarity you're meant to share with somebody. You got to tell somebody about this clarity you're having. And maybe this clarity involves them, or it will after you cut these cords that no longer serve you. I thought I was doing a good job putting the people and situations behind me that I could not, that were holding me back. But it wasn't until I set the intention to cut these cords from these old connections away, that I got clarity. And it was coming fast and hot, man. But a King of Swords is sharing this with somebody. So I feel like when you do get your clarity, you're meant to tell somebody about it or share it with the world. The kings put things out in the world, right? Okay, let's clarify. Spirit. Oh, wait. Let's shuffle some. I now offer a limited number of private readings per month. Email me for details. Affiliate links to the decks I use, my Amazon wish list, links and info are all in the description box below. Donations are always very much appreciated. Universe has me in Hermit. And the only way to get a Saggy to Hermit is to take away all her pentacles so she can't leave the freaking house. So, hopefully that won't last much longer. But if you feel this reading helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Set the notifications because I do live stream. About to start that up this week. Again, restart that. Because I'm in new energy now. My energy before was not conducive to sharing to people. I didn't want to put my energy was low, and I didn't want to put it out there because it wouldn't have served you or me. But I do live stream and I do free readings. They're pretty comprehensive, so you're going to need to get in early and get a slot because they fill up real fast. So get in early, and we go in order of asking. If anyone puts in their name and then doesn't show up, we'll go to the next person on the list. So keep that in mind. Kind of my way of forcing you to hang out. Well, there you go. Strength. Okay. Why is strength here, Spirit? Why is strength here for 3? 3 of Pentacles. And on the bottom is the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, I think you've learned some patience. You've learned some tolerance. You've learned to be gentle. And when you're gentle with someone, they'll be gentle back. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see? And also, when you learn these things and you come up with a personal philosophy, we'll talk about that in a second, then you can share it and you can teach others how to do it. That's what I'm doing with these tarot snacks today. Okay? I learned something. And it was totally obvious. And but I wasn't getting it. There was too much noise, too many energetic connections that just was keeping me from getting the point. And the point is that there are 2 different kinds of swords, right? The sword's energy is taking what you've learned, and you can either get in your head about it and worry about it, or you can meditate on it, do some shadow work, do some journaling, whatever it is you do. I journal because I hate meditating. My brain is so busy and so loud, I have very much trouble meditating. But journaling, I can focus when I do that. What you're doing is you're creating a personal philosophy. Any philosopher you've ever heard of, from Aristotle to Jean-Paul Sartre to anybody, right? Any philosophy, any religion, those all arise from someone having towers and trying to figure those towers out, having a dark night of the soul, and doing shadow work, and then coming up with their personal philosophy, like a thesis as to why it happened. and then using that personal philosophy to find your new path, right? And then when you do that, you can, like I'm doing right now, share it with people, right? And build new connections. Build new energetic connections. Ones that are so much nicer and more pleasant and don't drag you down, but actually are reciprocal give and take. Yeah? Yeah. Because doing that, pulling away those energetic connections that no longer serve you, pulling out those swords, those doubts and those fears, and coming up with your philosophy, your tools, right? Man, there's love behind that. Queen of Cups, It doesn't have to be a person. I'm kind of a romantic, so I'm a lover. So I kind of like to think it's a person, someone new who you need to connect with or explore your connection with, right? Yeah. Because, otherwise you're going to be stuck. Yeah, there's a soulmate. 6 of Cups. There's a soulmate back there. There's a soulmate behind this resting and this confusion. See, maybe you shut down all your thoughts because you were confused, because you had, all these freaking energetic connections you need to sever. Yeah? Yeah. And then now, when you sever energetic connections, you choose love. Huge amounts of love, right? Healthy connections give you as much love as you give them. But you got to give them a chance. Yeah? Okay, let's get some advice. Advice for Leo, please, Spirit. Advice for Leo. Advice for Leo, please. Give me some advice for Leo, please. Advice for Leo. Aha! Oh! Hang on, fam. Okay. Quest into the subconscious. Now, that's funny because at the end of the last reading, I shuffled a little bit, and then I just happened to look at the bottom of the deck, and that was like, ooh, I need to look into that, because that's what I'm talking about. Questing into the subconscious, right? Figuring out your personal philosophy. Yeah, let's get the book. We'll get the book. I always get the book for the monsters. It's just so very well written and eloquent. And Spirit knows I get the book, and that's why they give me the monsters they give me. Not all tarot readers read the same, but there's no right or wrong way, really. Once you learn the basics of the cards, Spirit, your guides, your spirit team knows how you read, and they know which cards to give you. Nothing is by accident. So, okay. Trauma is real. It's not always what's happening on the surface that can explain our current reality or experience. Your entanglement with these intense emotions and reactions may very well be triggered by something that has deep roots in the subconscious. Like maybe a energetic connection that you should be cutting. So if you find yourself with persistent triggers that make you feel not enough, too much, overwhelmed, afraid, or chronically separated from your own sense of love and belonging, the question isn't what's wrong with me. The right question is, what happened to me? What happened to me? Your subconscious has many of the answers to situations that plagued and mystify you. Quest down into that sacred space to explore the truths waiting there. Do some shadow work. Form your personal philosophy. Make sure you have a healthy personal philosophy. That isn't, full of doubt and ego and fear, right? Fear is a construct. Yeah. Learn to tell the difference between, what's the word? Overthinking and quality thinking, okay? Between reason and fear. There's a difference, okay? But they're both governed by swords. Yeah. Because swords aren't bad. Swords are good. Swords is using your intellect, right? And reason. And I think that you just need to cut away the things that are scaring you right now and figure out why they scare you, and then, construct a personal philosophy of your own with your intuition. Because as well-meaning as friends and family can be with advice, sometimes it's not your advice. It's the advice that they took and that worked for them. And I'm not saying it's bad advice, but it may be not the advice you need right now. And it can derail you from your path. Well, Leo fam, I think this is your reading. I hope this helped. Love you. Bye.